welcome to another episode of Garage Topics. Today we're going to do a review of the Corvette. I've had this C5 Z06 modified for a little over a year now. I'm going to do a review of what I've thought about the car so far, and we're going to do a point of view drive on some back roads. I've had the car now almost 2 years, but I didn't start driving until about March of 2019, so now it's May 2020 with this video's coming out. I've put about 3,500 miles on it. I drive it, do some autocross back roads. I do drive it to work every now and then. It is technically a street car for sure, but it's on the borderline of that, so be mindful when you're building the car of what you want to do with it. Right when I got done with this car, I took it to Taylor the Dragon. That was a bunch of fun. I highly recommend that. Highway cruising, got 26, 27 miles per gallon with a big cam, so that was pretty cool. Since I've had the car, I've had almost no issues. The only issue I've had was myself, and that was me getting into a boo-boo with it, which stinks. But from 5 feet away, it looks alright. It really needs a whole new front bumper. It was messed up to begin with on this side. I messed it up on this side. That needs to be fixed. The bummer that kills me, though, is the back here. This bumper is salvageable, just needs to be touched up and repainted. But other than that, it looks pretty good. Hands down, the best modifications I did to this car were the seats. It made a world of difference. I've also added a Hurst shifter in here and a Delrin shift knob. That shift boot I'm not a huge fan of. I've added a double din stereo. I just hacked up the stock center console because it was pretty garbage to begin with, but you can buy a whole new thing that's actually fitted for that. The steering wheel I haven't touched. It's kind of big for this car. Since I do daily drive it on the streets, I kind of like the airbag, but it's a little bit too big. I think a smaller wheel would go a long ways. Other than that, nothing crazy. Besides the steering wheel is tires. I've never changed the tires on this car. I keep traction control on. Watch this, I'm gonna roll into it at 40. It's just gonna probably spin. Yep. Even did a little bit there in third too. It just does not hook at all. And them Michelins, I just think they're old and need to be replaced. The traction control on this car, especially with this kind of power levels, 450 wheel horsepower, 410 foot-pounds of torque at the wheels, it's super invasive. It's early traction control, you could say. So the second it does sense it cuts power immediately. There is competition mode, but when you drive aggressive in that, at least with my car, for more than like 20 seconds, like an autocross, it freaks out and gets super mad, cuts power. It's just a nightmare. You basically want to drive this car with traction control off, but because of my situation, I used to have it off all the time, because even leaving my driveway it would cut power and leave me it would stall out. I left it off and drove in the rain, and literally just driving it flung me around. So it's just droney right here, so if you pop it up a gear, it sounds incredible. There's so much brute power and torque in this car that, like, if you floor it, you gotta immediately be on the brakes again. I think I knew who that was. It might be a Trey boy. If it is, I'll give you a shout out in this video. Oh my god. Holy crap. I was just rolling into it in third gear, and it hit about 65 miles an hour and started spinning. This car is absolutely ridiculous. It's bonkers. It's a riot, but you better be awake or keep traction control on. Now, I think tires would help out there in certain situations like that. I mean, it's 60 degrees out today. The tires should be plenty warm. Especially I've been driving the car a decent amount too. So. Okay, with the paint's here. I'm just gonna roll into it because my Atlanta. So much fun, this car, but you gotta be on your toes. Man. I'm 6 foot tall. These seats, I have them cocked a little bit back. I fit very good in this car. Any taller, you'd want to do more seat modifications. I had the bases of these seats shaved off. I'm gonna turn around over here. I love the gauges in here. You can tell everything. Oil temp's 208, coolant temp's 178, battery's 13.8. It'll go up, don't worry about that. I've probably put 3,500 miles on this combo. I'm getting kind of old. I love it, but it's fun to just jam around. But actually driving it as a daily, like to work and stuff like that, it's kind of a drag. You can do it though. I prefer it. I kind of view it as like a motorcycle car. You drive it in fair weather, have fun with it by yourself. Give it the beans here. Again, I'm gonna have to roll into it because traction control is gonna cut power, and it cuts it so aggressively that the seat bolts actually lock here in. First gear. I didn't give it full throttle yet. I'll give it. Tires will go a long way in this car. Third gear. The suspension is all stock on this car. I just got it lowered on the stock bolts. And it's very complacent for a street car, considering it probably has 130,000 miles on this setup. Man, this is a complete riot. Days. Torque for days. My brakes don't feel too happy. They're nothing special to stock. I think stock quality pads too. Feel like we've been getting on it a little bit. Let's take a look at the oil temp. 212. Getting a little hot. It's all good. 178. Alright. Oil pressure 54. PSI. Like that little rip, that's like 25% throttle. Golly. YouTube just sound really just annoying. I don't know how to say it. It just kind of sounds just, I don't know, like bad. The tri-Ys on this car make it sound more exotic than anything, and it sounds great. Especially since the engine's a little bit higher compression. It's almost 11 to 1. I think stock it's 10.5 on these cars. But it sounds incredible. Take it nice and slow, make sure no one's coming around this truck. Drive this car with your foot. I'm gonna give it the beans here. It's ready. Golly, it's so fast. I know it's not the quickest thing on earth, but it only weighs 3,100 pounds, and the amount of torque and how flat it gets delivered, oh, it's a rush. It's so much fun. But you need to respect it, my Atlanta. Oh, what a beautiful day. Check the oil temp, 214, getting a little toasty. 176, coolant temp, it's fine. Rotary volts 14, oil pressure 51. I do like that it gives you all that layout. And then this car has AC too. I have it turned on right now. Again, I think the drone kind of kills it a little bit, but once I put the axle back on the titanium, it'll be really good again. Oops, stop sign. Test the brakes. Brakes work pretty good. Alright, well, I'm going to give it the beans up here one more time, and then I'm going to fade off back to the house and give my thoughts about the car after owning it for a year and basically what we did in this test drive. Golly. That is some fun. Alright, let's get home. Corvette? Ernie boy. Ernie. Hey Ernie, you like cars? You like Corvettes, huh? Huh? Alright, we're back now. That was a fun drive. I haven't driven on a nice day like this in the Corvette in a long time. That was a blast. Final thoughts. I don't think they're an ugly car, but I think they're a lot nicer looking cars than this. In the price range for what you're looking to do as far as like a fun car. As far as the driving experience, this thing is incredible. It's ridiculous. I do miss my S2000 in some regards, but then I like this car in different regards. I don't think it was a replacement for that car. I think they're two separate beasts. If it wasn't for my snafu with this, I would feel a little bit better about how it looks. I just need to put some time and money into making it look better. There is another car I'd like to get that would replace this potentially, but I'm not sure if I'm going to do anything like that. Leave a comment below if you think I should get rid of this and replace it with something, and if what I should replace it with. I hope that was a good look at how visceral and fun this car is from a point of view perspective. I've thoroughly enjoyed owning this car. I wouldn't buy one for like a low mileage one just to sit on. The only way I would own this car is modified. You fix a bunch of issues that these cars inherently have, electrical, etc. Once you modify these cars, they're an incredible platform. So instead of trying to build an autocross pro touring car from an older car to make it handle good, this thing handles like crazy. Everything was made to be this way, so if you just fix some things, electrical things, cosmetic things, you got a heck of a car for a deal. These things are so cheap right now and continue to get cheaper. Thanks a lot for watching. Be sure to subscribe, leave any comments if you've got any questions about this build, and make sure that your dog gets some sun outside and can look at a Corvette while it gets sunbathed. Catch you guys later. Peace out.